Hi, how are you doing? 6 weeks sounds like forever, doesn't it? 6 weeks summer break, all that time at home with the children, all the time to enjoy ourselves. And yet here we are, already thinking uniforms, packed lunch boxes, plimsolls, whatever you might need for the sort of setting your child's going to be going to. And some of them, obviously, have not just had the summer off this year. Some children have been off school or nursery or preschool for months. And suddenly in September, are going to be in there all day, every day, in just a couple of weeks. And of course, you might have a little one who's never been anywhere yet. And it might be their first time going somewhere and their first time for you of saying the goodbye and the going. And if you're anxious, they will know, they will feel it, and it's more likely to make them anxious. So I'm going to try and use my too many years experience to give you a few tips and hinters on just helping them get ready for nursery, preschool or reception, big school, if that's where they're going in September. So I hope you find some of this helpful. It would be great if you do, if you could like and subscribe, and it would be brilliant if you could put in the comments anything else that you'd like a little bit of help with, or if you've got a specific worry about them going to school this year, going to nursery, whatever it might be, then please do feel free to stick it in the comments, and if I can help, then I definitely will, because it's huge. It's a huge step for you, a huge step for them, and if we can help you get it right, it makes the long-term care and education side of things easier and stress-free for everybody. So yeah, any specific worries, please pop it in the comments. If you think it's at all helpful, or if you want to check out some of the other videos that are more aimed to the children directly, at the moment focusing on phonics, obviously there'll be some stories. I've got some let's get moving videos that I've got planned coming up. So any of those that you find useful, let me know, and please do subscribe if you wanna see them. So whether it is the first time they've been before, they haven't been for 4 months, they haven't been since we broke up in July, whatever the situation, one of the things I'd like to say, which sounds a bit crazy, bear with me, one of the things is don't over prepare them. So as the amazing parents you are, you always want to prepare your children and help them feel ready to face the world, ready to face everything they're going to come across. But sometimes we have seen that preparation actually goes a little bit overboard, and actually because it's focused on so much and talked about so much, it becomes a bigger deal, and it starts to scare the children. It starts to actually make them feel nervous or uncomfortable. So if you imagine talking to your child about I'm going to leave you, I'm going to go, you're going to stay here, if you're worried or scared or upset, the teacher will ring me. If you're frightened, talk to your teacher. If you don't like anything, talk. These conversations, actually think of all the negative language in there. I'm going to go, I'm going to leave. All those, they're all negative messages to the children. And if they've had lots of that and lots of thinking about if this happens, if the bad things happen, if there's anything to worry about, then that's what's going in their head. And of course, that just makes the whole thing sound more and more scary. So instead of saying, Mummy will have to go, Daddy will have to go, we will have to leave you, then things like, I'm going to come back in a little while, and after you've had your play, and you can tell me what you've been up to, or I'm going to see you very soon. And obviously when you do come to go in, please don't say I'm going somewhere exciting or something that they love doing, or even I'm going home, because children might prefer to be there with you. So I'm popping to work, popping to the shops, but don't really focus on the going, try and focus on the coming back. Of course, if it's preschool or nursery, then those first sessions you might be staying with them. So before you actually go, just focus on that. Don't even talk about the leaving and going yet. Just talk about we're going to have a play at your new preschool, we're going to play at your new nursery, and just talk about how excited you are. And when you finish that session, remind the children of some of the other names, the children they liked, name the ladies, the teachers, the staff, whoever's working in the setting. Try and talk about those familiar people that they saw, and then when you are, so whether it's the second, third, fourth session, depending on the setting you're going to, when it is time that you're going to be leaving them, then that's again, focus on the positive language. So do you remember you played with so-and-so, going to let you have a play with them, and I'll be back very soon to find out what you've been playing and what you're doing. Things like that. So just all positive language, try and avoid the negative. One of the things that parents find really, really hard is they've come in to play, their child has gone off to play happily, they're making tea in the home corner with one of the other children, and then the parent thinks, I'm going to go and say goodbye, and that is going to make them feel sad. And at the moment they're quite happy. So parents are often tempted to sneak away for a little bit. Please, 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 please don't sneak away. When you're first leaving your child at the setting, then let them know, because there is nothing worse than thinking you're there, turning to find you, and you're not there. That's one of the most daunting experiences for a child. So even yourself, imagine you're on a great night out with a group of friends, you're having a lovely time, you start chatting to someone else, and then you turn around and your friends are gone. It's not a nice feeling. And then you're going to think, where have they gone? Why have they gone? What have I done? Have I upset them? Are they ever coming back? Am I stranded? And then panic sets in. And imagine that in the mind of a 2 or 3-year-old. So if your friends had come to you and said, we're going for a quick kebab, we'll be back, then obviously you're going to have felt a lot better and probably said, that's fine, I'll see you soon. So give your children that little bit of, I'll be back soon, just so that they know that you're not there. Of course, make sure, one of the most important things, make sure that you're comfortable with where you're going, because if you feel safe and secure, then your child's going to feel more safe and secure. As I said at the beginning, if you're anxious, that's going to rub off on your child. If you've got questions, there are no silly questions. If you're having all sorts of thoughts and feelings and wondering, just speak to whoever, the reception teacher, the head of the school, the preschool nursery manager, your key person. If you're in early years, your child will have a key person, which will be their special person to go to. At the beginning, we'll make sure that they're comfortable, safe and secure. Ask the key person, tell the key person anything you're worried about. But don't do it in front of the child. So again, it's really easy to stand, your child's down there somewhere, you're talking to someone here, so you start talking about the things you're worried about. I've left them here and they didn't like it. They cry when I leave them with Nanny and Grandad. Whatever it might be, they might find toileting difficult. Whatever your concern is, we don't realise as adults how much down there they're taking in. You will know because of times that you've thought they've been oblivious to something and a few days later they come out with it, or you see them do something that you didn't know they'd ever realised you did. So we all know that they are sponges and it's all going in. If they hear you worrying about them or voicing any worries or concerns to their key person, there's a good chance you're just sort of reinforcing that negative and that worry. So positive language. Concerns, try and speak separately, send emails, but whatever your questions are, ask. The more comfortable you feel on day one, the more comfortable that they are going to feel. There may be also, depending on your setting, one of the things we often ask for is a little all about me book. If you can provide photos, obviously check with your teacher, your key person, whoever it is, that it's okay. But if you can provide photos of yourself, of their favourite toy, of their bedroom, of their favourite place to go, anything that they relate to, like talking about, even their favourite character, then it means it gives that key person, it gives the adult something to share with them, to look at with them and help them feel a bit more safe and secure, and hopefully sometimes gets them talking as well. So mainly, I wouldn't over-stress and over-worry and over-prepare. Obviously, they need to know they're going to a setting, but just talk about it in a positive way, talk about it in a light-hearted way. Don't try and make it bigger for them than it already feels. And the more you can relax, the more they will relax. And do you know what? They're going to be fine. They all are. We've had children with no tears, and then 6 months later the novelty wears off a little bit and they realise that actually they want to stay home with mum and dad, so they give you a bit of upset later on, which always surprises people. Just when they think they're settled in, we've had children almost hysterical on day one because they're not used to it, and it is a big step, but we can distract them. The people looking after your children have done it before, they'll do it again. It's a horrible feeling for you, but distraction, comfort, time, attention. It works, and your children will be okay, I promise. So try and relax, try not to over prep them, try and enjoy the whole experience. And when you are free on that first morning, if it's your child's first day, don't go home and hoover, go home and read a magazine or have a bath or do one of the things you never ever get to do anymore. Go for a run, go for a walk, do something for you, and it will make those 2-3 hours, the whole day, whatever it is, it will make it a little bit less daunting and you won't be watching the clock all day long. Good luck. I hope it all works out. As I say, any specific questions, please shout. I hope that helps. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.